Hey guys, so we are back again today for another reading. This one is going to be what can you expect in the month of November. So anything could come up. I'm not sure what spirit will bring up, whether it's career or love or money or whatever. It could be literally anything. It's about what specifically you are going to be going through in November. So we are going to do crystals again today, although I do have a shipment that actually arrived today. I got notified, but I haven't unwrapped it yet, but I was set on the crystals for today. But next reading we'll be back to the food, and then we have a bunch of shipments arriving as well, so hopefully food for a while for those of you guys who love the food readings. But today we're doing the crystals, and also I'm not sure what each of the crystals are, to be honest, for this round. So I'm just going to show you up close. So this one is number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. So I will show you up close to the camera so you can kind of tune into the energy of each of them. This one is number 2. It's a beautiful blue crystal. Number 3, super pretty rose quartz. We all know rose quartz. And number 4. This one is kind of green with a little bit of blue streaks and stuff. But hopefully one is calling your name and just pulling you in with its energy. So if it is, feel free to go ahead and skip to that pile. And let's go ahead and jump into pile 1. Hey pile 1, so if you guys picked this brown crystal, this is going to be your reading. But I figured since I don't have too much to say about the crystal, we can just go right into the cards. I pre-pulled them, and so here they are. You guys got the 6 of Wands, you got the 8 of Cups, you got the 6 of Swords reversed, the Hanged Man, you got the 10 of Swords, you got the 9 of Pentacles, you got the Queen of Cups, you got the 9 of Wands reversed, the 5 of Cups reversed, and the Magician. So wow, I feel like this is my impactful group. I often notice pile 1 comes through super strong with like a really strong message, and this is definitely the case today. I am getting so much energy from this pile. I feel like you guys are making a really pivotal decision right now, honestly, that is going to like change your whole life, is what I'm hearing. Like, I feel like this decision, you guys are leaving something in the past. You can see, if you know tarot, there's so many cards that have to do with that. And it's like this decision, I feel, is just going to bring you to a lot of wealth and abundance. And it's almost like you can finally make your dreams a reality. I feel like there's something in your life that was holding you guys back from something, from achieving your dreams and stuff. Honestly, I feel like in a way also that thing that was in your life that was holding you back may have also been keeping you from emotional equilibrium and may have been keeping you from feeling good, which is actually a really key part of manifestation. It's like, it's not enough to like write it in your journal or whatever. If you're feeling absolutely horrible and powerless, and you have someone in your life who is making you feel you know, like you're not good, like you're not worthy, making you just feel really upset, really sad, really down in the dumps, that's going to create ripple effects like all our emotions do. So even if you're doing everything else on point by the book, manifestation wise, we really are going to have a pretty, I mean, you can manifest when you're in a difficult situation. I have done it, but it's definitely way harder. You know what I mean? And it's almost like you are going to have an imperfect manifestation take place because you're just emotionally thrown off equilibrium. And now that factor has been removed from your life. So now we're coming into abundance. Now we're coming into feeling good and being able to manifest. So honestly, no joke, I feel like your dreams are coming true. I'm actually kind of surprised because usually I feel like, you know, I don't expect that much crazy stuff to happen in a month-to-month reading, because usually, in my experience at least, sometimes a huge change will happen really quick, quick, but most of the time, for most of us, it takes time. Like, you know, everyone kind of, if they want to lose weight, they're like, how do I lose 10 pounds by tomorrow? You know what I mean? But the reality is you can't. You have to know that that's going to take about, you know, 2 months, 6 months. I mean, 2 months is even really fast for that. It's probably 6 months or even longer. So the thing is that you rarely would expect to see such a huge change, you know, like in just a monthly reading. But I honestly am like almost getting chills. I feel like this is a huge change for you guys. Like, this is such a big deal, and it's almost like many of you may have been kind of fighting or feeling like you had to constantly defend yourself, or feeling like there was something in your life that was just, this was causing you a lot of conflict all the time. And now it's like you don't have to anymore. You can just kind of let go, be yourself, relax, come into your highest version of yourself. That is so easy to manifest when you're in that emotional place of just feeling amazing, feeling happy, feeling good. That's where you guys are. So yeah, this is really great. So we also got Never Ending Story reversed. We got Yang reversed. TikTok reversed. I promise I pulled these up right. So you guys just got another lot of reversals. We got Not For You, Unfinished Symphony, and Go the Distance reversed. So with so many of these being reversed, I feel like, again, this is a message that something that has been going on for so long in your life is finally being put to an end. So we have Never Ending Story reversed. And that is all about a long-standing situation that is finally coming to an end. So maybe this was a difficult relationship, or you felt stuck in a job, stuck in a living situation, stuck in a family dynamic, but it is, I feel like, over. Like, I honestly feel like it's over. I don't feel like I'm telling you like, oh, it's gonna end. I feel like for most of you, it's over. Like, it's already been ended, or this is the final month, but it's not like, okay, so it's coming to an end now, and you know, it's going to be ending in the next couple weeks or months. It's like, no, it's basically done this month. So I'm seeing like a car screeching to a halt. You know how sometimes when you are braking, maybe you glide to a stop at a red light, you just slowly push down on the brake and take your time braking and kind of slowly come to a nice little slow stop. But this is like someone jamming on those brakes, and you know, like sparks flying out of the tires and tire tracks form. But this is like, it's over, it's ending. I feel like, honestly, this also is going to be abrupt for a lot of you. Like, some of you guys were not expecting it to end like this, or you just kind of were like, well, it's always going to be like this. I'm just stuck and I'll try to navigate. Maybe I can get out by this. Okay, I'll try this and it'll work. Okay, so I can do this for 6 months. Maybe that could help. Like, but like, it's just going to be a sudden ending is what I'm getting. Yeah, and I feel like with Not For You, Spirit is just confirming that this is supposed to end out of your life. If you guys are being like, this is, you know, sometimes we get so used to a situation, however dysfunctional it is, that we get attached to it and we're just kind of like, okay, this is how it is, you know, it stinks, but that's, oh well. But this is like, it's not for you, and Spirit is removing it. So even if some of you guys are, you know, I feel like there may be, for some of you, even though you've wanted this situation to end for so long, there's going to be a moment of like, wait a minute, what? Because you weren't planning on it. Again, because this is sudden and unexpected. So there is a moment of shock and even feeling like a loss. Also, we can see that with the Ten of Swords a little bit, where you're kind of taken by surprise. Like you wanted it out of your life, but now it's leaving, and you're like, okay, again, there was no planning, there was no foresight. This is very sudden, is what I'm getting. So you're shocked, and there is that moment of like, I don't know if I want this to end, you know, even though, again, like, this is such a positive thing. So I'm trying to be very clear that this is a good thing, and Spirit is saying it is a good thing. But that moment, our minds are so funny, and even when we hate a situation, like, when it comes time for the change, it's really scary. So I feel like for some of you guys, there may be a lot of fear that comes up, or a lot of like, oh, what? I didn't expect it to happen like this. And just know that this is really positive. Like, I feel like this is a destiny moment for you guys. This is so positive. So don't be afraid, even though it's okay for the fear to come up, but this is a really beautiful moment for you guys. This is something I think you'll look back on as like a turning point, and like, oh, I'm so happy. I'm so glad it ended. Also with Yang reversed, I feel like for a lot of you guys have had to be in like fighting energy because of this. You guys may have had elevated adrenals or stress levels all the time, where as I'm saying that, and see, I love doing the live shuffle so you guys can see that. Sometimes people think we pre-pull cards, which I don't know why you would do that, but anyway, you can see that Spirit is confirming everything I'm saying. So like, there was a lot of hostility, there was a lot of fighting, there was a lot of like tension and stupid anger and arguments, I feel. Like, this is, I don't know, I'm getting like dysfunctional, I don't know, codependent narcissist kind of vibes almost. But this could have been a job, it could have been a living situation, but this is something where I feel like you had to really fight, and you had to really constantly be on edge about this. And now that energy is leaving your life. It's almost like you guys have had to be in the boxing ring for like your whole life or something, or for years and years, or for months and months, but you've been like fighting, and just, it's almost like you've gotten so used to it. You know how sometimes someone will grow up in a really like horrible situation, or like they'll grow up having to live on the streets or something where they're fighting all the time, and then they'll take that person and try to put them in like a nice, safe living situation with like a family or something, and the person will be like not used to it at first, and they're kind of in shock, and they're kind of like, what is happening? And maybe they don't even like it. Maybe they even miss that dysfunctional energy when they had to fight all the time, and they had to be, you know, constantly just fighting to get through life. Like, that's the kind of energy. Like, I feel like there is going to be this momentary shock where you're like, wait a minute, huh? Some of you guys may even have energy of not feeling good enough, or not feeling like you deserve to have beautiful things happen to you, where you're like, yeah, I get that, like, that person lives in a nice mansion and they have a nice life, but that could never happen to me. I don't deserve that. And you would never verbally say that out loud, but that may be a deep feeling that you have that you don't even realize is so deeply ingrained in you. I think a lot of times when people grow up in dysfunctional situations, they tend to internalize that it must have happened because they deserve it, or they, you know, it must be that way because that's just what they deserve, and that's where they're at, and they'll always be like that. And they would probably never say that out loud, and maybe even, you know, if someone said that to them, they might be like, that's not true. But deep down, they've internalized this idea down into their soul and into their bones that they're not really good enough, and that other people can have nice things, but not them. And that's just how they think. And so it's almost like, I feel like for many of you guys, you've been in this difficult situation for so long that there's going to be a bit of a shock and a bit of a moment of like, what, WTF? Because you're so not used to it, and you've had to adapt to this for so long just for survival. So this is what I'm saying, like, this is such a huge change. This is like, wow. And I think that also a lot of you guys have gotten attached to this situation, to be honest. Like, again, I was saying, you just get used to things in life, no matter how dysfunctional they are. And I feel like Spirit is plucking you out of this. Now we have so many healing cards coming in now. We have Garden and the Gate, Blossoming Abundance, Door to Personal Healing and Happiness. So this is putting you on the track. I feel like if you guys have been trying to manifest big wealth or big success, this is putting you on track for that. This is putting you in the conditions for that to actually happen. And we also have community, and I think, like, honestly, the vibe I'm getting is some of you guys may be going out more or getting out and about, because it's kind of like it's kind of like, I feel like Spirit wants you guys to have fun. Spirit wants you guys to like enjoy life. Spirit doesn't want you guys have been in such a negative situation for so long that it's almost like Spirit is going to bring you around people and put you in situations where you can actually have fun, let loose a little, maybe go out and have a couple drinks or something. But it's like Spirit doesn't want you to be miserable. You guys have accepted this horrible treatment for so long, and it's time to release it and let it go and move into an energy of really, like, I feel like you guys need to respect or value yourselves, because yeah, it's almost like you've been around people that have devalued you for so long, and you have internalized some of that. So I think that Spirit is kind of putting you in situations where you realize like, oh, life can be fun. I can have fun. I deserve to have fun. I deserve to have a good life just like anyone else does. So we got career, boundaries, reconciliation reversed, compassion, and grieving. So there may be a moment of grieving in this relationship, which like doesn't surprise me at all. It was kind of what I was talking about earlier, where I do feel like there's going to be a moment of shock about this ending happening. Like there is going to be, maybe you thought you were ready, but now that it happens, kind of like when you are ready for, you know, you're in a bad relationship or something and you're ready for it to end, but when you actually sit down and break up with the person, you're kind of like, oh, this really stinks, and suddenly it becomes real, the idea of them dating someone else or whatever, and it just feels really scary. But this is such a positive thing, and I feel like it's going to make your career flourish. It's going to make all the goals you've set for yourself and the manifestations you've set for yourself able to come in. Some of you guys, I feel like, have blurry boundaries because of this. Like, again, I said earlier that I'm getting like codependent or narcissist vibes. So often when you're in those relationships with narcissists, or for people who are codependent by nature, they just innately have blurry boundaries. They have a hard time kind of saying no, or knowing like, that's not okay for that person to treat me like that. You know I was in a situation with like, where I would always pride myself that like I was the only one who could get along with my difficult bosses, who were so crazy and would like throw things at other people, but I always got along fine with them. And then I realized later that that was just because I am like dysfunctional myself, and I didn't have boundaries for myself with being like, it's absolutely not okay for that person to act that way. You know what I mean? So that's not a good thing about me. That's a bad thing that I need to work to fix, is to, recognize at first that like someone screaming and throwing something across the room is not acceptable behavior. Like, duh. But my point is that so many people that have issues with codependency, or just, maybe, didn't have the best role models in that regard, can have a very warped view of relationships and a warped view of what is normal. And it's kind of like unlearning that, and the process of realizing that you actually deserve more, and you deserve to be treated with respect, and you deserve someone who gives equally in a relationship, and all that stuff. So I feel like this is you guys being on this path to realizing that you do deserve just as much as anyone else. You deserve, a happy relationship, a good money situation, a good career situation. Pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. That's reversed though. These are upright. We're getting so many reversals. I feel like that's saying that you guys might not have enough pride right now. Like, you guys have tolerated a lot of stuff. Loneliness. I know that I am never alone, and that's reversed as well. And with community coming in, I feel like if you guys have been alone or kind of isolated, that situation is coming to an end. Acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. What other cards do we have for November? Patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order. So we also got humor and friendship and freedom. I feel like ultimately this is going to give you guys freedom. I feel like you guys have learned so much from this situation. Some people would be down in the dumps about having experienced this and about having gone through it, because I do feel like it was a kind of like a long and painful process, and draining and really difficult. A lot of people I'm hearing couldn't have even made it through because it was extremely like taxing and difficult for you guys, but I feel like you guys are going to grow so much from it. You guys have learned so much about the world, about yourselves, about everything. And so even though it may be difficult to, look back on this time in the future and you may be like, wow, I was in so much pain during that. I feel like now we're coming into this beautiful, abundant period where you guys really learned so much, and there's so many difficult life lessons, and you're going to take that with you, and it's going to help you to manifest these things that you want to manifest in the future. So don't be upset about this period, and also don't try to fight it, or don't try to, again, I feel like there's this initial reluctance to accept that this situation is over, but it's such a positive thing. And for those of you who are trying to manifest some kind of public situation, be it on YouTube or Instagram or anything in the public somehow, I feel like there's also cards pointing to that being a big success. So this is just overall, I feel like it's kind of like whatever you guys want to manifest now, because you guys have been through so much, that it's possible. So we got hope, transformation. Can we get more cards for November? Rejoice in celebration, triumphant success, financial and material changes. Wow. Emotional withdrawal, patience. Okay, so patience again. So again, I keep getting that this vibe is honestly going to happen right away. But maybe for some of you, it will happen a little bit later. But I don't know. But honestly, the energy I'm getting is that it is going to happen. I feel like this change is happening now. But maybe there are elements of this. Sometimes it's kind of like when you get a divorce, you decide to get a divorce that day and you separate. But then it takes time to file and find all the, legal documents and provide discovery, and then go through that and provide your case and go in front of a judge and everything's scheduled. And it takes years. So, I mean, some divorces can last 10 years, but I don't think it's going to take that long. But my point is that, so it may be that this situation has some loose ends that need to be tied up, but I feel like honestly, you guys are already at that moment of freedom. And I feel like this is just going to bring in so many things for you guys. I'm so excited because I feel like this group truly has been through it. Obviously, everyone goes through difficult periods, and I think a lot of people have had a difficult period with the past couple years with the situation we've been in, and to a certain extent, all the issues we've all been going through globally. But I feel like you guys, everyone's been going through it, but you guys, this is a different level in my opinion of going through it, because I'm getting more along the lines of there was serious dysfunction in this situation, possibly even abuse for many of you, possibly really narcissistic, dysfunctional stuff. And so I feel like you guys have truly been through the ringer more so than usual. For most people, of course, everyone goes through stuff, and it's not to make light of anyone's difficulties, but this is very serious. I feel like some of you guys, again, don't even realize how much you guys have been through. You're just accepting of it, but it's almost like you might have the kind of situation where you tell someone else oh, so-and-so did this, and they're like, what? Or my boyfriend said this to me, or my dad does, he talks to me like this, and people are like, are you, what in the world? People can't believe it because it's so out of the bounds of normal. And so I feel like there is this aspect of this situation being truly dysfunctional, and you guys really had to put up with so much, and now it's coming to an end. So I feel like Spirit just wants you to know that this is such a positive thing. We got rejoice in celebration, the 3 of Cups, triumphant success, financial and material changes. So for those of you who have had a really hard time manifesting money and getting into financial solvency, because we also got financial constraints earlier. So maybe some of you guys have been kind of broke because of this, and you may have been wondering well, why can't I manifest money? Or why are things not working out for me? I feel like that is a big reason why. And we just got childhood innocence. So again, I'm getting, for some of you guys, this relates back to your family, or it possibly is because of issues that started in your family. Like maybe if it's in a relationship, it's because your family was also very dysfunctional, and so you tolerate behavior that other people wouldn't tolerate. You know, like if you had a partner who was verbally abusive, maybe that's echoes of things that happened in your childhood somehow. Maybe you had a parent who was verbally abusive to the other parent, or maybe you had a narcissistic parent and now you tolerate that in relationships, or whatever the case may be. But I feel like a lot of, like, I think this is a big, deep thing, honestly. So this is, like I said, this is a huge month. I wasn't expecting so much to come through in just a month reading. But yeah, I think that if you guys are worried about this decision and trying to figure out whether it's a good thing, it definitely is. I also feel like with spiritual union and love, it definitely could lead to a long-term romantic relationship. So again, that may be something that you guys had a hard time manifesting because you were in this dysfunctional situation. And you may have even wondered, like, well, why can't I make these relationships work? Or why does everyone else seem to be having these relationships and I'm single, or something like that? And now I feel like you guys are going to see it start happening for you. Like now your life has been so taken up by these dysfunctional people, and now it's over. So let me get more cards. What does pile one, what is going to happen in November? A win-win outcome is forecast, and you are good enough. Wow, I love that. So I feel like they definitely want you to know that you're good enough, and working on your self-esteem, or like I keep getting this idea that you feel like, oh, that's for other people. Like other people get beautiful careers, other people have beautiful relationships, but not me. I just take whatever I can get or something. You know what I mean? And now it's like you guys, I feel like the universe is like, oh, really? You guys can't have romantic relationships? Okay, well, let me hold on. Let me prove to you a couple things. Like, the universe, I feel like, is kind of teaching you that you guys do deserve beautiful things. You do deserve this beautiful life. And with also, I wanted to mention dream time creation. Like, I feel like this is like your time to really create your life that you want. I'm almost seeing like a blank like canvas where you can, like, I've actually done art, and pretty seriously when I was younger. Like I was in advanced art classes and stuff and had art shows and stuff. And you know, there's nothing like that feeling of when you have like a blank. I know it's a phrase that everyone uses, but my point is, like, if you've actually ever painted, you know, on canvases, you know that like that feeling when you're looking and you're staring at that blank canvas and you can literally paint anything. It's a beautiful feeling, but it's also super daunting. You're like, okay, where do I, because there's a lot of like kind of almost mathematics that are also required with painting, where you have to kind of calculate like where to start, the angles. Like you don't want to have something where the, you know, proportions are completely off. So you have to be very careful about where you start in particular, because you can kind of correct while you're going along, but once you've started the angle and like sketched everything out, it's kind of hard to shift it like an inch to the right, if that makes sense. So anyway, there's this daunting feeling when you're staring at that canvas where you're like, okay, where do I start? What do I paint? What kind of style should I do it in? Okay, like that's probably, I would definitely 100% say, the hardest part, or the, you know, most daunting part, where you're the most nervous. And then once you actually start, it's like, oh, okay, oh, I need to shift that a little, I need to adjust that. But that's a lot easier, you know, but the actual looking at it when it's blank and knowing you have to angle everything correctly on the first go is pretty daunting. So I feel like that's the moment you guys are at, where you're kind of, there's this nervousness, there's this fear, there's this almost reluctance of like, I'm not ready, but you guys are so ready. And I feel like it's just wide open. You guys can create anything you want. And it's almost like, I feel like, honestly, if this is this is the time for you guys to ask for whatever it is you want. A big thing I would say for this group that may be beneficial is just literally sitting down and figuring out what what exactly you want. I'm hearing that from The Notebook, where he's like, what do you want? What do you want? Why do I quote that movie so much? I don't know, because I like don't love it that much. I'm not like one of the huge Notebook super fans, but I swear it comes up in like every reading, some quote from that movie. I haven't even seen it that many times, but I guess it's just quotable. But yeah, I'm hearing that, like, what do you want? Because I feel like the universe is literally wanting to grant you guys whatever it is, because you guys have been through so much. It's almost like, this is probably messed up to say, but like how, you know, the final meal of someone in prison will be like whatever they ask for, and they can ask for literally anything. And so sometimes they'll like publish it in the newspaper, and someone will ask for like 5 gallons of different ice creams, and a meal from McDonald's, and a meal from KFC, and like random, you know, Korean food, and then a, you know, like homemade mashed potatoes, and then some random other like food that their mom always cooked, you know what I mean? And it's just kind of like a complete hodgepodge of stuff, and you're like, why would you even combine that? Like sometimes the stuff that people will eat as their last meal is really crazy, but the prison is like, well, you went through that prison, and so, you know, you're facing a bad time, so we're going to give you whatever you want. But this is not like that situation in terms of it being a last meal or there being something super bad happening. I just feel like it's almost like you guys have been through so much that the universe is like saying, like, we are wanting to make it up to you. You guys have been through it. So what do you want? Because now you really passed the test, and it's like we want to make it extra special for you because you had to go through so much. So if there's something you guys have been trying to manifest, I would say definitely lean into that and figure it out now, because this is like, I feel like creation time. Like I said, once you start painting or have the sketched out on canvas of what you want to paint, it's a lot harder to actually move it into place, or to move it after the fact. After you start painting, it's a lot harder to shift it kind of an inch to the right or whatever, you know what I mean? Like you can tweak certain things really easily, but if you didn't line it up correctly on the canvas, like say you sketched, you know, a flower or something, and it's here, and then you're like, oh shoot, I angled it wrong, so I have to switch over there. That's going to take a lot more work, especially if there's multiple things. So just line up what you guys want now, because I feel like the universe is ready to give it to you. And then we got a bunch of these cards. We got, what do you need to release? Emotions are running high. Take time to breathe out. Your hard work is paying off. Adjustments are required, and that's reversed. A win-win outcome is forecast. You are good enough. So I think with adjustments are required being reversed, it's saying that, again, trust in this situation. I feel like there's, again, a panic or questioning of this situation where you're like, oh, maybe this isn't right. Maybe I messed up. Maybe I should keep this situation going. Whatever this situation is that's ending. And there's a doubt, there's like a second guessing of it, but it's like, no more adjustments. This is good. This is supposed to happen. And I feel like this is almost like a window or a door opening for you guys, where you guys have wanted it for so long. Now that it's here, there's some fear, but it's like, take this opportunity and run with it, because this is such a blessing. And we got a win-win outcome. You are good enough. Hard work is paying off. What do you need to release? I mean, all these cards I feel like are on the same vibe, aka this is such a good thing. This is such a beautiful thing. And honestly, with win-win outcome and full moon in Libra, I'm honestly feeling like also for some of you guys, this may have been a difficult situation where there was a really difficult person, and there was fear or worry on your part that maybe this person would kind of be really vindictive, and, you know, if you ever left this situation, that they would make your life hell, kind of a thing, and you would just be totally miserable. And what I'm getting is that, like, spirit is going to look over this situation and make everything smoothed over. So even if this person is normally really vindictive, it's like they'll somehow adjust things so that this person doesn't really care as much this time and isn't paying attention as much. So this is like your opportunity to leave, to get out of this situation, because I feel like if you're worried about vindictiveness, it's not going to happen as much this time. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of like how, you know, if someone's like playing a prank on someone, they'll get their friend to come over and like distract them, or like they'll throw a rock, you know, and so that it makes noise over there so that the person's looking over there while the prankster is like here doing stuff. So that kind of a thing where like the universe is kind of making sure that you guys have this safe window for exit, and then we have what do you need to release. So I feel like this is such a great thing to let go. Again, this is such a blessing. I feel like you guys should just be really pleased and really happy with how this all turns out, and don't, you know, also with new moon in Capricorn, like Capricorn is so about like work and achievement and accomplishment, and this one says your hard work is paying off. So I feel like this is going to lead to achievement. This is going to lead to success and abundance in the long term. So, and with supermoon, honestly, supermoons are pretty rare, and so I feel like this is a huge moment for you guys. This is a giant sea change in your life, and it's such a blessing. It's such a window and a door opening to the kind of dream life you guys have always wanted. So run through the door, take it. I think this is going to be such a better situation for you than you've been in. And it's all going to allow you to be so much happier and in a better place with your emotions, and not so upset all the time, because I feel like this situation has truly been stressing you out and putting you guys in a bad place. And now we're moving on to the happy period of blessings and abundance that you guys deserve. So please let me know if it resonates in the comments, guys. I love hearing your thoughts, feelings, everything. Let me know. Also like and subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave any reading requests or suggestions in the comments as well. So I will be back soon for another reading. Let me know if you guys have any requests. And yeah, I will see you guys then, and take care, guys. Sending you love and light. Bye. Hey, pile 2. So if you guys picked this blue crystal, this is going to be your reading. It's such a pretty stone. Hopefully you guys can see it. It's kind of dim light, but I love using the natural light instead of artificial light. So we're gonna keep this for as long as possible, and then I might have to switch over to a different light. But let's get right into your reading, guys. I pre-pulled your cards and just laid them out this time, since there's not too much to say about the crystals. So we got the 5 of Cups, we got the 2 of Pentacles, the Fool, we got the 9 of Swords, the Star, the Knight of Cups, the 7 of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, the 7 of Cups, and the Page of Cups. So I feel like this is somewhat of a similar energy to pile 1 in some ways, where I feel like you guys are leaving something behind and starting on something new. And this is kind of like a fresh slate for you guys. This is kind of like a new start. I feel like this month is a time when you guys are going to be working on manifesting and kind of continuing to progress towards that. Some of you guys may be doing somewhat of like psychic work, I feel like, where you guys are again working on manifestation or getting kind of psychic visions and stuff, and there's this energy of kind of slowly progressing towards the things you want with the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Cups as well. I feel like this is kind of like one foot in front of the other type of energy, you know, where it's not anything super crazy happening, but it's almost like maybe some of you guys are getting more of an idea of the direction you want to go, and really refining that and really deciding, okay, this is what I want. I know where I want to head. I know where I want to be, and that's where I'm going to go. Sorry guys, I just had to change the lighting. It was super dark, but other cards we got are Go the Distance, Come to the Edge, Thinker, Here and Now, All That Glitters, Chaos and Conflict, and Exchanging Gifts. So yeah, I feel like this is going to be like you guys taking one foot in front of the other, like I said, like you guys just kind of trudging along, continuing on this path and making steps towards your goals. I feel like you guys are getting closer and closer with All the Glitters and Exchanging Gifts. I feel like if there's something that you guys have been trying to manifest, you guys are going to be getting further down that road. There's like mental clarity coming in there. I feel like if some of you guys have been confused about like what you want and what direction you wanted to head in, and it's almost like you're going to be getting psychic downloads from the universe about what exactly that is and what exactly you want to bring in. Because I feel like for some of you guys, you've been trying to manifest, but it's almost like you don't even know what it is you specifically want. You're like, I think I want kind of like wealth or that, or I want a career, but you don't know what career, you know what I mean? Or you want a relationship, but you don't know what kind of relationship or what that person is going to look like or the energy they're going to have. And so there's this clarity that comes in that allows you to be better about your manifestations. There's this mental learning that happens that's going to put you guys a lot further down the road and allow these manifestations to happen a lot faster. I just feel like there's something along those lines of you guys getting a clarity you need that will provide you with more insight as to your destiny and help you achieve that a lot faster. So we got new beginnings and freedom. Can we get more insight for pile 2 for November? So we got manifestation. Okay, I keep mentioning manifestation, and that's definitely the vibe. And we got passion as well. Transformation, okay. Friendship. Okay, I was feeling the need to read these upright or reversed, I get, because it came out reversed, and I was feeling like they should be upright. And yeah, I checked my deck and I was shuffling it upside down for some reason. So we also got compassion and career, as well as willpower. So I just feel like this month, it's almost like you're not at the end of the journey yet. You're not seeing the full results of the manifestations, but you're getting a lot closer. You guys are going down the path. It's almost like you're not fully at the end of that path, but you're making your way along it. You guys are taking that step after step that's going to lead you to the end. I feel like for a lot of you guys, again, there is just this clarity of mind that's going to come in. Maybe sometimes like you guys are in that stage where you're like, well, I'd like to make money, but someone says, well, find what your passion is or find what you love. And you're like, I don't know. I have no idea. Like maybe I don't really have a hobby that I could monetize, or maybe I don't really have a type of, person I want to date. So it's like hard for me to figure out the kind of person I want to manifest romantically because I ain't got no type, So it's like you guys, I feel like maybe need to honestly get clarity on that and decide, because I feel like you guys are going to be very potent with your manifesting abilities this month. And so it's like, I feel like Spirit wants you to get better at finding out what exactly that is. It's kind of like, I'm seeing like someone from like Harry Potter or something who's a wizard and they have all these magical abilities, but they don't know how to do it. You know how like when you're in Harry Potter, you have to learn the exact spells and stuff. You have to learn like Alakimora or something. I just made that up, but like, I don't remember any of them. But like, I'm sure there's like famous ones, but I'm kind of blanking on the names. But they have to point and they have to say the word. So like Alakimora, and if they don't know that word, then it just doesn't work. So I feel like you guys need to learn. And it's also like when you're doing that magic spell, they always point their wand in the direction of the object or the person they're trying to put the spell on. And it's almost like you guys don't know what direction. You guys are kind of like, should I go that way? Should I go this way? Should I start this career? Should I start that career? Or there's stuff that you guys, I feel like, need clarity on, like, or maybe kind of what direction you want to go to, but you're not quite sure how to get there, or you're still confused about certain things. And so there's a lot, I feel like, of lessons coming in to just point you in the right direction and get you further down this path. I feel like this is like a learning month, like where, it's almost like you're in school or something, and you guys are having to increase your knowledge and increase your awareness. So I feel like there's a lot mentally coming in, and there's a lot of I keep getting clarity. Clarity is the word that keeps coming to mind. I feel like this month you're going to grow a lot stronger and maybe even like physically grow muscles or something. I'm seeing someone with bigger muscles and muscles improving and stuff. So we got financial and material changes, patience, fertility. That's such a great word for how you guys are this month. I feel like you guys are very fertile, kind of like a woman that is, you know, very fertile, kind of ready for a baby to be, like, this is such a weird thing to talk about, but ready for that baby to come in, but, you know, not fully pregnant yet. You know, it's kind of like that's what you guys are, where you guys are like ready to go, like kind of ripe and ready for this direction to happen, and your manifesting abilities are on point. I just feel like some of you guys are confused about exactly what that is or exactly how that's going to come in. You guys need clarity sometimes on like the finer details. Sometimes we know like, okay, I want to bring in this, but then it comes time to actually make it happen and we're really confused. It's kind of like, you know, if you were like, well, I just want a nice house, but the realtor, you know, then shows you a house and you're like, oh, I forgot to mention I hate modern houses. Or, oh yeah, well, I forgot to mention, but I have my friends visiting, so I need 3 bedrooms or something. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't just go to a realtor and you wouldn't just say like, well, just give me a nice house. I just want something nice. Like you're always going to go in there and be like, oh, I like English Tudor style, or I like Victorians, or I like super minimalist, modern, you know, Scandinavian look. Whatever it is you guys want, like you have to tell the realtor something, even if it's not the style, even if it's like, I want a 1 bedroom, or I want a 2 bedroom, or I want to spend this amount of money, or I want to have this feature, you know. Otherwise, like they have no idea kind of what to give you. Like, so I feel like you guys are needing to refine what it is you're asking for from the universe, and they are going to help you with that. Like they're going to kind of nudge you down this path. I feel like some of you guys may get visions of this while you're sleeping. You may get insights into what exactly you're supposed to do while you're sleeping through dreams. They may come to you as like psychic downloads, and I feel like it's kind of nudging you towards your destiny, nudging you towards like, yes, this is it for you, this is good for you. So yeah, this is something where I love this card. This is so perfect. Movements, choices, decisions. So it's like you guys, in order to have the movement forward, you need to make the choices and the decisions about where you guys are heading. You need to know for sure and with total clarity of like, I want that. You can't just come in like to any place, you know, any kind of store. Like you couldn't walk into a grocery store and go up to a clerk and like just say like, I want to buy something. And this clerk is going to be like, what kind of food? Like we have, you know, thousands of food items, and you're not just, if you come up and you're just like, well, anything, the clerk is going to look at you like you're crazy and going to be like, huh, like get out of here. I don't know what you're doing, but no, like obviously you need to know like, oh, well, I want a piece of meat to eat, or I want a type of soup, you know, a canned soup. And that's like the loosest definition you can have. Most people go in and they know they want X exactly cut of meat, like I want a New York strip steak, or I want a chicken wing or something, or I want split pea soup, or I want an organic vegan vegetable soup. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how life is too. Like the more specific we can be with our manifestations, the better they are. And so some of you guys, I feel like, have been trying to figure out like your destiny or what you'd be good at or the career path. And I feel like you guys are going to get a lot of clarity in that regard. So let me get more cards for pile 2. What should they expect in November? What should pile 2 expect in November? Dance celebration. River movements. Wow. Okay, those flew out. We got mountain strength, dragonfly emergence, DNA karma. Wow. So I honestly feel like for you guys, this is a bit of a celebratory or fun month. Some of you guys may even be like actually celebrating stuff or dancing around. I feel like I was talking about you guys getting psychic impressions when you guys sleep, but I'm feeling like for some of you guys, you also may get psychic impressions while you exercise or while you dance. You can have a dance exercise that's very spiritual when you just kind of free dance, and like all of those movements, that can be sometimes when spirit talks to us, is when we're kind of not really fully trying to tune in. We're just kind of like not as focused. We're just kind of open, and I feel like, so for some of you guys, maybe you have a dance practice where you just dance around to your favorite music or something, but spirit talks to you in that way. Or you may have another kind of exercise thing where you go for walks or runs. But I feel like you guys are going to get some psychic downloads this month through different ways. And you guys are going to, learn so much. And like I mentioned before, I'm seeing someone get like physically stronger. So maybe this is you guys like working out, or going to the gym more, or even you guys starting a new health routine. Maybe you guys are going to start eating all organic, non-GMO, which I highly recommend. That's how I eat, and it's such a great, amazing thing. And I've definitely improved my spirituality by eating non-processed foods, because that stuff can gunk up your pineal gland, aka your third eye, as well as having a lot of other bad health effects that does affect our spiritual body as well as our physical body. So anyone who's thinking about trying to have more healthful foods in their diet, like natural food, whether that's, I don't think anyone has to be like totally vegan or whatever, but I think when you eat foods that are kind of alive in terms of eating a lot of plants and fruits, it really does add to your spiritual abilities, because you just are, I don't know, it just adds to your energy, I guess, and it gives you a lot more spiritual energy. So it definitely helps connect you with the earth, and all the things we eat have vibrations as well. So just something to think about. That may be something you guys are kind of considering, because I am getting that there's like this increase in strength or physical health coming through. Also, I feel like for you guys, this is just a period of you guys really stepping further down the destiny path, emerging, coming into your own kind of like, I feel like this is almost like a glow up period for you guys, where there's been confusion in the past, and that's starting to kind of go away. You guys are starting to be a lot more sure about what it is you want, and coming into like more of like this joyful energy. Like I feel like you guys are just going to be a lot happier during this time. I feel like some of you guys have been going through hard times or whatever, and it's almost like this is like payoff happy period, and we just got happy as I said that. So we got happy family, goddess of the moon, appreciation. I feel like this is a really good month, to be honest. I'm getting just like happy vibes, like good vibes. So we got adjacent possibilities. I'm feeling like all these should be upright for your reading, to be honest. So I'm just going to read them that way. So we got adjacent possibilities, and we got contract. So I feel like for me, a lot of that has to do with, and I want to say as well, goddess of the moon, because they're telling me to say that. Again, that has to do with like, they are going to give you psychic clarity. So keep your eye out. If you guys have prophetic dreams during this period, or you guys have like, I always think prophetic dreams are those dreams where it's like you wake up and you're like, whoa, that was so real. Or I just recently I kept having these dreams that had to do with kind of a bad situation earlier in my life. So rewinding my timeline to like a little while ago, there was like a difficult situation, and I kept having these very specific dreams set in this very specific house that was like, I don't know, really intense dreams. And the situation was not really a positive situation. So anyway, that situation ended, and recently I had another dream back in that house, and I was like, oh, that was weird, like a little flashback to that time. But whatever, I guess, that's kind of, it definitely set my alarm bells going off, because I was like, those dreams were really like meaningful last time they happened, but I tried to put it out of my mind, and then sure enough, I got news about this situation that was really negative and kind of pulled me back into the situation for a moment. So my point is that definitely don't doubt those like prophetic dreams that come in. Sometimes, even if they're not specific, like they can give us a lot of insight into a situation. So definitely trust and listen if you guys have one of those dreams that just seems really real, or it's just like, oh my gosh, you just feel kind of like it was really intense, really vivid. Those are definitely can be spiritual dreams. So listen and pay attention, maybe start a dream journal or something, because again, I feel like spirit is wanting to talk to you really strongly. That's what keeps coming through. Like, is that all you guys want me to say about that? And they're saying it also might come through while you're exercising. So again, I think I mentioned that earlier, but they want to emphasize this for some reason. So as well, these cards, adjacent possibilities and contract, I feel like this is again talking about you guys figuring out your destiny. It's almost like some of you guys have soul contracts you need to fulfill, but you're not quite there yet where you're at the point where you're actually fulfilling them. And I don't think spirit's upset about that or like scolding you or being like, how dare you not follow through on the contract. I think it's like, oh, this is the timeline, and it's totally fine that it hasn't happened yet. But I feel like you guys are going to be directed more to the contract. Maybe you're going to have more clarity or more remembrance of like, oh, I remember signing up for that on the other side. And it's like those possibilities are going to start opening. And as well, I feel like some of you guys are going to have aspects of choice where you can direct your future for manifestation and stuff. I feel like there is just going to be spiritual work that pulls you further down your path, and you guys are going to have more awareness of what exactly it is that you want so that you guys can manifest it. So let me get some more cards for pile 2. Oh my gosh, strength again. So as I was saying, so much emphasis on you guys being strong. I think I already actually did these cards, but I felt called to do them again. So you got strength, spirit guide. I feel like those are the two things we've been talking about the most, where you guys are building strength, possibly physically, maybe spiritually as well. Like, I think even just getting clarity makes us stronger, because when we're confused and we're kind of wandering around, like spiritually speaking, we're kind of like that weak person at the gym that doesn't know what they're doing and is like, how do you work this machine? I don't know. Can someone help me? And when you guys when you have spiritual clarity, you're like that yoked out dude that's like in the wife beater and has giant muscles and is like slamming down the weights. So you might not look like that. You might be like a 5'3" girl, but spiritually speaking, you know, that's what you are. So I feel like you guys, again, your spirit guides as well, I feel like they're with you. They want you to know that. And for some of you guys, there is this possibility for love, because that's come up in a couple cards. So yeah, so the energy is gaining momentum. Be bold and make the first move. Conclusions are within reach. So I feel like for some of you guys, you may have been very confused about exactly what you want to do. And this is your time when, if you guys have had things, almost clarity being withheld from you, like you're like, Spirit, give me guidance on what I'm supposed to do with my life, or give me clarity on this situation. It's like that is when Spirit is going to start bringing it in this month. And I love the energy is gaining momentum, because that definitely sums up how I feel about this, where you guys are like building one foot in front of the other one. I keep saying that, but that's what I keep seeing is like, it's like very incremental. It's like this stone goes there. It's like if you've ever seen someone build a wall in the olden style, the old style that they did for hundreds or thousands of years, where they put one brick down and then the other brick, and then they like, you know, put the, I'm so blanking on words today, but whatever that stuff is, the mortar, I guess, is that the word? I don't know. That goes like the glue stuff that goes in between and keeps it together. So they put down each brick or each stone and they kind of line it up, and it's like you're doing that one stone or one brick at a time, but at the end you have this beautiful wall that's super secure and hard to break through. So that's kind of what I'm seeing is someone, or building a house that way as well, where, you know, you have to do things step by step. You can't just rush through and just like dump all the bricks down together, or they'll just form a pile and they won't work. So I feel like you guys are just kind of doing that, you know, one after the other, and your commitment is being tested. It's time to release negativity, but that's not resonating as much. I feel like these cards are all kind of the same, where it's about you guys are on this step towards progress of, oh my gosh, why did all these fly out? But you guys are on this step of progress, and I feel like the ultimate progress is going to be achieving your destiny. But right now it's just kind of like you guys, having patience as that flew out, and just kind of trusting in like, okay, I may not know what's happening right now, but I know I'm in the right direction. And I feel like by the end of this month, you guys are going to know at least where you're headed. So we got patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order. Pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Regret. I know that I cannot change the past. Can we get clarity for November for pile 2? Worry. I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Forgiveness. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. So there may be something that you guys do need to release. That was kind of full moon in Scorpio as well, where there may be some kind of negative situation that is playing on your mind that you kind of need to let go of for some of you, where maybe something really upsetting happened and it keeps like playing in your mind. And it's kind of like you guys need to just let go of it and know that like none of that had to do with you, and that it's not necessarily something you need to like continue carrying with you, because I feel like maybe something happened that shook some of your guys' confidence or made you feel bad about yourself, and Spirit wants you to kind of like get your power back a little bit. But I feel like as far as, do you want me to say anything else about that, Spirit? I'm not really getting too much on that, to be honest. Like, I feel like for some of you guys, maybe this is just about you guys also getting higher self-esteem and trusting the process, and knowing that if you guys aren't seeing your manifestations come to fruition right now, it's more about you guys knowing that it will happen, and knowing that this steps and progress that you're on right now is just, doesn't mean you're not going to accomplish it later, and you shouldn't be like embarrassed that like, oh, I'm only here or something. I'm just getting that you guys are kind of mid-journey, like to your manifestation. And so I think maybe the message here is like more about having confidence, because I feel like it's interesting. What's coming to mind is like how it's so funny when someone like accomplishes or achieves something, everyone wants to talk to them, everyone wants to know them, everyone's like, wow, you're such a success, wow, oh my God. But when you're in the middle or the beginning of that journey and you're doing something kind of risky, everyone's gonna like laugh at you or be like, you really think you can do that? You really think you can start up a new company? Like, oh my God, that's so embarrassing or something. You know what I mean? Or you really think you can start a new Instagram? Okay, good luck, you know? And then once they like achieve success, then everyone wants to talk to them. It's reminding me of that song that I was listening to this morning, Enemies by Post Malone, and featuring DaBaby. And he talks about I wish I could remember the actual lyrics. He says, used to have friends, now I got enemies, used to be close, now they dead to me. And then he's talking about like, now you're calling me asking for tickets to my stadium show. You said your mama saw me on the TV and stuff. And basically talking about like disloyal people from the past that now that he's super famous, they want to like talk to him and be like, can I get tickets? Like, you know, my mom saw you on TV, wow. And so someone who was disloyal in the past, and now that they've seen his big success, they want to be super close to him. And I feel like that happens a lot. So it's kind of like some of you guys may be doubting this journey or doubting this path, but I feel like it's like Spirit just wants you to not worry or not be super negative about it. Just know that like, I get maybe some of you guys may be a little impatient about this, and maybe it's difficult to hear that like you're not at that conclusion fulfillment moment of the journey where you're like, okay, I'm here, yay, we've finally reached Emperor or Empress level. You're kind of, you know, in the middle of the journey, but that doesn't mean you're not going to get there. So it's just about understanding that those things do take time. So let me get some, I think we already did this, but let me get one more card from this pile. I don't know why I'm repeating them today. So we got stone people, vigilance, and we got fire, passion, ocean, ebb and flow. Can we get one more card for November? Iceberg, submerged. So yeah, I feel like you guys are just kind of in it right now. You guys are going through it. But you know what I love about icebergs? I used to have this little poster on my wall that was like, and it's pretty famous, I feel, but I loved it when I was like a tween or whatever. And it was like a poster of a iceberg, and then it said like the amount of, I don't know, something like the amount, what you see on the surface and what's beneath it. I don't know why I loved it so much, but I had it on my wall. I think I got it from a school supply store, which is really bizarre, but weird way to decorate your room, but it was like something you would see in a classroom. But I loved that message, and I feel like so much of the time, yeah, you see the success, but you don't see all the work going through it or the journey to get there. And so a lot of people focus on like the success and they don't realize that there was struggle behind it. So I feel like some of you guys are in the moment where you guys are still kind of struggling or still a little unsure. You haven't finally fully reached it. You haven't like seen that moment of like everyone acknowledges it and you have this public recognition. You're kind of struggling, you're kind of on the way there, but that's where you're going to end up. So don't get in your head about it. Stay strong and, you know, kind of be vigilant about your thoughts and managing them and recognizing that like life takes time. I feel like ebb and flow kind of talks about that. Like there's, you know, the tide comes in, then it goes out, the tide comes in, then it goes out, and there's a rhythm to it. But, you know, those tides can eat away a beach over time. And you just have to understand that there's like a rhythm to life and that things don't happen overnight, and most of the time when they do, that means it's really short and it's not going to necessarily last. But I feel like you guys, again, you're on this path to this manifestation. You guys are working your way there. You guys are going to get a lot more psychic downloads this month. You guys are going to continue building, and I feel like this is all super positive momentum. So try to focus on that. Try to focus on the end journey, not necessarily where you're at right now, because I think sometimes when we want something but we're not there yet, or when we're just going through a difficult time in life, it can be super difficult to like, you want to live in the moment to a certain extent, but also live in the future. Like if you really hate where you're at in your life, then focus on the future, focus on what you do want. Sometimes when something difficult happens, we can get super wrapped up into like, oh my God, this stinks, I'm so upset. Like say you break your leg or something, knock wood, but say you break your leg or something like that, and you could focus and become obsessed with like, my leg is broken, it's never going to be fixed, this is horrible, I can't believe this. But it's like logically, hopefully you know that like your leg is going to heal in a couple months, you're going to be fine, and you're probably going to be totally back to normal. And so focus on that. You know, don't get obsessed with like the present moment if it stinks. Focus on the future and whatever you're trying to bring in. Focus on like the good stuff that's going to happen in the future, and don't get like obsessed with like, my life right now is so difficult and it's so awful and I just can't stand it. Focus on, I have this new thing coming in and that's going to be so awesome and I can't wait for that, and this is going to be such a blessing, and this is what my life is going to look like in the future. Oh, I can't wait. And just keep your positive mindset, because it can be easy to get worn down by things and just kind of let ourselves go into a super negative place. So I feel like Spirit wants you guys to be strong and vigilant with your thoughts and just kind of make sure you're managing them, because I do feel like you guys are going through so much growth. So even though, like I said, you guys aren't fully there at that culmination moment yet, you guys are so on your way. So don't get bogged down with being upset about it or being confused or letting your emotions get out of control. You guys got the Star card, and I feel like the Star card also talks about how, you know, like the journey to things. We sometimes don't know what the heck's going on. We're like, where are we going? Just like in ancient days, how they would navigate through the stars. So they would see a star in the sky and they would follow that. They would follow like the North Star, and they wouldn't know exactly what they were going to see or what they were going to pass. that's my lisp coming through, but they didn't know, you know, if they were going to go over mountains or over a river or over the woods or over a desert. They would just know they had to follow that star and they would navigate that way. And so that's kind of the thing, is like, we don't necessarily know what is going to happen to us on the journey, but we can focus on the end destination, and that makes it all, you know, a lot easier to go through. So I feel like some of you guys may be in a negative place right now, but it's like, keep your mind on the prize, keep your eye on the prize, and keep your mind right, because that's like half the battle when we're going through a difficult situation, is just keeping ourselves in positive energy, keeping ourselves feeling happy, grateful, and positive. And then, you know, that definitely accelerates the manifestation, and that keeps us going, because that's just, you know, part of the journey, is being tested, having bad things happen, and seeing how we react. So yeah, I hope you guys, you know, just stay positive and stay feeling good, because that's so important for making manifestations happen. So I really hope that helped you guys. Please let me know if it resonates in the comments. I love hearing your comments and your stories and everything. So let me know, and also make sure to like and subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will be back in a few days for a new reading. And let me know if you have any suggestions or reading requests, because I love to help you guys with whatever specific area of life you want to know about. So I will see you guys in the next reading. Sending you so much love and light. Bye. Hello, pile 3. So if you guys picked this rose quartz, this is going to be your reading. I pre-pulled the cards, and I'm just going to lay them out and go over them so it goes faster for you guys. So we got the Knight of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles reversed. We got the Nine of Wands, the Page of Wands, the Chariot reversed, the Three of Swords reversed, the Wheel of Fortune reversed, the Knight of Swords, Temperance, and the Hanged Man reversed. So I feel like for you guys right now, it's almost like you guys have this goal in mind that you guys are so going after, like single-mindedly. And I feel like, you know, to be honest, this month may be about some kind of like temporary setback or test, but they want you to know that you need to keep going. So it may be that you guys really want extreme forward momentum to happen, but with the Chariot reverse, it's not going to move as quick as you may like. But it's almost like they don't want you to reassess the situation. You know, with the Hanged Man reverse, it's like, don't totally invert yourself to look at it differently. Just keep going. You know, I feel like it's something where even if that initial enthusiasm may have gone away, and you guys are just kind of still fighting, it's like you need to just keep putting one foot in front of the other and keep going after it. Temperance talks about like things taking time, and you know, it's like, I feel like right now this may not be the luckiest month, to be honest. It may not feel like everything this month is just so easy, but this is like an integral month. You know, the Nine of Wands is like, 9 is the final number before we get to 10, before we get to that fulfillment moment where everything that you wanted happens and comes true. But 9 is kind of the final test, especially the Nine of Wands. Like, the guy is like injured here. He is obviously, looks like he's been fighting. He's been in a battle. You can see he looks really kind of wary, and like he is, you know, on the lookout, because maybe he's already been attacked and he's about to be attacked. So it's almost like it's the final battle. You've already been in battle, and now you have to like fight a little bit more, but we are going to have that culmination moment, and we are going to have that time when things do finally reach that pinnacle and that breakthrough. So I feel like Spirit doesn't want you guys to get down in the dumps. Spirit wants you to keep going and know that like that journey of that fulfillment moment is happening. And if you just can keep staying along the path, stay strong, it's inevitable. It's just, sometimes it's really hard when we're in the thick of it, especially when we want something to happen, we want something to come to a conclusion and it hasn't. It can be really difficult for us to keep strong and stay resolved. But I feel like that's what you guys are supposed to do, is just kind of like keep your wits about you and don't give into this fear or this feeling of like, oh, it's never gonna happen. Also, with the Knight of Swords coming in, I feel like for you guys, you know, there is this strong emphasis on not being like this has to happen right now. You know, one thing about the Knight of Swords is it can like be obsessed with like it's got to happen, like let's go, like it needs to happen tomorrow, and if it doesn't, you know, feeling a little defeated or just being this need for speed. You know, you can see this guy is like charging into battle, and it's kind of like things do take time. And I feel like, you know, with the Three of Swords as well, there may be a difficulty for you guys where you're getting impatient, or you're feeling like, oh, it's never gonna happen, or you're getting kind of in your feelings about it. And I feel like Spirit wants you to just chill and understand that if you guys stay committed to this, that there's no way that it can't happen. But it just may not happen this month, which honestly, like, I was telling, you know, a different pile, like, it's like, oh, I rarely really see like a pile. Like, I feel like most of the time I expect most of our month-to-month readings to be not anything super dramatic, and we had a super dramatic reading in this reading, and so I was a little surprised, just because of most of the time when you make a major change, it takes time. I feel like this like energy of this reading as well definitely applies, where I brought up the metaphor of like someone who wants to lose weight. If you like look up weight loss things, like if you Google like how do I lose 10 pounds, the first results will always be like in a week, or in 2 days, or in 2 weeks. And it's like, it's not even physically possible for your body to lose weight like that fast. You know, losing 10 pounds takes 2 months, to be honest, or 3 months, or 4 months, or at least at the bare minimum, like a month, you know? And so it's like, and that would be being super fast. So we have all this idea of like it should happen overnight, but actually it's that slow and steady energy that wins the race. And sometimes we can get a little impatient and feel like it needs to happen tomorrow, it needs to happen now, or it's not going to happen. Like, oh, it hasn't happened and I've been working on it for a week, so that means it's never going to happen. Like, so many people will start going to the gym and, you know, they expect to have like big muscles or to have really slimmed down within a week. And if they go every day for a week, they may start out super enthusiastic, but when their body looks roughly the same after a week, they can get really dejected. But of course, if they kept at it, instead of just being like, oh, I'm done, like so many people will start a New Year's resolution in January of like, I'm going to go to the gym every day, and maybe even, you know, it might have been wiser for them to just say, oh, I'm going to the gym every other day, or every 3 days, or even once a week. Anything is better than, you know, burning yourself out and then giving up completely because your body didn't change in a matter of a week or 2 weeks. When the reality is those things do take time, and it takes time to learn to eat healthy or to, you know, exercise regularly. And that's so much more important than like, oh, I did it for a day. So I feel like Spirit is just telling you, like, don't feel like just because something hasn't happened right away that it's not going to happen. Like, it's important for you guys to be a little more patient with whatever it is you're trying to manifest. I know that's not the most fun answer, but, you know, that's what, you know, that is the biggest key to success, really, is like that slow and steady energy. You know, that's why I always bring this up, but Mars is exalted in Capricorn. You would really think, if you study astrology, you might think that Mars was exalted in Scorpio or Aries, its home, but it's actually not, because Aries is too quick, too fast, too quick moving, and Scorpio has kind of other issues, a little too emotional, a little out of control. And the point is that even when you're trying to fight or try to get something done, because Mars is really the energy of fighting and also of achievement and going after a goal, as well as other stuff, but it's focusing on this in particular. Where it's exalted and the best possible placement is in Capricorn, and Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Capricorn is a sign of kind of slow and steady wins the race. It's represented by the mountain goat. And when you think about, again, like the other animals of the zodiac, Aries has the ram, Leo is the lion, Scorpio is the scorpion, And so those seem like way more fearsome animals than a mountain goat, right? Like mountain goats aren't that intimidating. So why is it exalted in Capricorn of all places? You wouldn't necessarily guess that. It's because the mountain goat takes one foot in front of the other and takes each step and slowly climbs up the mountain. And even though it may not look like it's doing much, like if you look over at the mountain goat, 1 second, it's not going to be racing up the mountain. It's going to be kind of slowly moving. It might be relatively in the same place from minute to minute. If you look away and look back, it's not going to be a mile up the mountain. It's going to be maybe a foot higher, a couple feet. But inevitably, they always reach the top of that mountain because they take it slow and they don't, suddenly get dejected. They don't burn themselves out like maybe a lion is going to race after the prey, but after the chase is over, it's going to go sleep, it's going to go chill. And so, actually the mountain goat is the one that the astrologers say is the best representation of achieving something, of going after your goal and getting it, because Capricorn is really good at conserving the energy and directing it very carefully. They don't burn themselves out. They don't get over enthusiastic. That's why Scorpio it's not exalted in, is because Scorpio can get too emotional, being a water sign, and pour all this emotion into it and be way too fearsome. And you really need to take a very earthy kind of logical viewpoint of it. So I think that it's I feel like Spirit is saying we love your enthusiasm, but maybe chill just a little, or not that you have to ramp down the effort, but just apply it steadily. Don't expect this stuff to happen overnight. Apply it one foot after the other. And I feel like this is a month of you guys continuing on this path. And so I feel like sometimes when we're continuing on the path, we can be like, oh my God, I'm not there. What's happening? But I feel like Spirit just wants you to keep going. Just keep plodding along, because you will get there in the end. So we got higher power, co-create, blessed, fork in the road, reverse, and round and round. So I feel like Spirit doesn't want you to, again, reassess this situation with the Hanged Man being reversed as well as fork in the road being reversed. I feel like Spirit doesn't, sometimes when a manifestation isn't happening, it is a call to us of okay, maybe reassess this situation. Maybe you read it wrong. Maybe you should make some other choices. Maybe this isn't the right path for you, and maybe it's time for a little different consideration of this situation. But I just think Spirit really wants you to know that that's not the case here. That's not what they're trying to tell you. They're not trying to tell you this is a no. They're trying to tell you that just things take time. And so don't go and panic and feel like, oh my God, it's not happening. This is a sign. I'm not supposed to be doing this. This is a mistake. Okay, let me switch gears. Let me switch lanes. No, just know that this is a part of the process, and it just does take time. But I don't think this situation is bad. I feel like this is going to end in success, and it's just that this is part of the process. We got round and round, and that kind of talks about an ongoing situation that continues to happen. So I feel like you guys are kind of you're on this path and you're not at the end yet, but you're you're in the middle of it, and so that's okay. I feel like with higher power, Spirit is saying that they're watching over this situation. They know whatever it is that you guys are trying to work towards, and they want you to continue in that direction. We got rest and rejuvenate. So it's kind of yeah, maybe there's this aspect of you guys trying to get it done right away, now. And maybe Spirit is saying just chill, just relax. And as I said that, we just got the waiting game. So yeah, I feel like Spirit is telling you you don't need to go 100 miles an hour, because if you do, you're going to burn yourself out. So maybe some of you guys are trying to make something happen right away. Like I said, a diet that you're okay, I'm just going to do this dangerous diet because I need to make this happen right away. So I don't really care. But it's that's not the best way to go about it. Even if you were to say lose a ton of weight with some diet, if you haven't learned the correct lifestyle, you're never going to be able to maintain it. So much of life is about learning to be balanced, learning to take things slowly and not let our impatience get the best of us. I know there's times when I'm just rushing through a situation. I'm I know I should kind of slow down, but I gotta make it happen right now. I'm especially being ADHD, I get bored. So I'm let's just go, let's just hurry up. And it's like, it never turns out exactly right. Whenever I take that moment to breathe and to really be like, whew, is this the best job? Is there anything I can improve? Is there anything I can do better? Is there anything that I should switch up? That's when I have the best results, when I take time to breathe and listen to spirit and just kind of hear, like the wisdom come through. It's almost like when we rush, we can't hear the wisdom. It's like, think about how many times when you're in your car and you're rushing and you're stuck in traffic and you're like, oh, I got to get around. It's funny because I am like the slowest driver ever. I've had a lot of crazy like near accident situations happen where it's like, it made no sense how I, ended up like not getting my car hit. So I am very careful now about driving, and I'm super slow. And sometimes people get really annoyed, and I try to like stay over in the slow lane and not like intrude on anyone or not, make a big deal of it. But people get annoyed regardless, and people will like tailgate you or get really mad or try to like swerve around you and cut you off. And it's just something I've accepted as like a slow driver. But it's so funny because I noticed that like 95% of the time I will end up at the same spot as them at like the next light or the next light, or if we're going down the highway, like I'll still end up passing them just because, I don't know, traffic builds up in the other lanes or something like that. And they're not honestly going that much faster than me. So say I'm going the speed limit and I'm going 60 miles an hour and then they're going 10 miles an hour faster, doesn't make that much of a difference. So if there's a tiny 20-second buildup of traffic on their side, like I've caught up with them, you know what I mean? And so the funny thing is, I noticed like I don't do it intentionally, but so much of the time I'll end up like kind of pulling up next to them and just being like, this is awkward, because it makes them really mad because they're already cutting people off and stuff, and they already have road rage. And it's like, but I think there's such a message of that for us in life, where when we're hassled and running around like at the end of our rope and super frazzled, that's like, it doesn't even get us any faster, And if we just kind of chilled and just were like, okay, I'll get there, it's fine, then I think that honestly, most of the time we get there at the same time anyway. I know times when I am rushed, like times when I really have to like get somewhere super on time and I didn't leave early enough and I do have to end up speeding or going super fast, it's just not worth it to me. Like my heart is racing, I have elevated like stress levels that I can feel, and sometimes like that's when you see like crazy stuff happen, like people will swerve into your lane, or you're just going, like I feel like that's when accidents happen, is when you're going super fast. So it's just, I think this is like a message for you guys, like don't feel like you need to make this happen right away or it's not going to happen, because that is definitely not true at all. And a lot of times the best way to go about something is just kind of taking time and understanding that like things don't have to finish immediately. They don't have to just happen, tomorrow, or it's never going to happen. Like that's such a short-sighted way of viewing things. So we also got happiness, clarity, inspiration, and closure. And we also got blessed in the other cards. So I feel like for you guys, Spirit is also telling you guys to take time for those moments of happiness and joy. So like during this month, make sure that you guys are actually experiencing life, actually enjoying yourself. For Americans, this is the month of Thanksgiving, and I know there's holidays around this time in different cultures around the whole world. I guess there's something about this season that, makes people want to gather with family and stuff like that. So I know there's a lot of different holidays that have to do with that. And so it's like, if you guys are, an American that is wanting to go home for Thanksgiving or something, I feel like Spirit is saying like really enjoy and appreciate those moments. And even if you have a goal or something you're working towards, like take the time to pause, to appreciate, to be in the moment, to kind of taste the food. And if you're going to be with family, appreciating your family. If you're not going to be with family, that's fine. Just maybe, make yourself a little chicken or something, or a little tiny turkey, because turkeys are pretty big, but maybe make yourself a little pumpkin pie in individual sized one or something, and enjoy, you know, make sure that you guys actually take the time out to see the beauty and to appreciate and you know, take part in life. Don't feel so focused on these certain goals that you guys are just kind of rushing through life and not actually enjoying it, because it's kind of like this is the destination in a way, like, because not that you're not heading somewhere better, but it's kind of like, you know, the journey is the destination. Like, this is your life and this is the memories you will have and look back on that will mean so much to you. So if you guys, you know, you don't want to just end up missing it. Like, this might be the holiday that you look back on in a few years. Like, who knows what could happen in life. Not saying anything bad will happen and knocking on wood for good luck for you guys, but it's just like, you know, we should really try to be immersed in every aspect of our lives, and we should try to not take those moments for granted. I feel like you guys are going to have some special moments this month that like form special memories for you guys, and it's almost like some of you guys may be rushing or focusing on other stuff or not wanting to take that time, and I feel like Spirit wants you to make sure that you guys are present in the moment and actually taking it all in. I also feel like with fertility, again, it's pointing to, you know, I feel like with fertility, it's kind of, it always brings to mind to me, especially with this card. I think she's pregnant in the card, because like, I don't know, her stomach looks a little pregnant to me, although maybe I shouldn't say that because, you know, some people carry weight there and nothing wrong with that. But I feel like for you guys, it's kind of like when there's a pregnant woman, you wouldn't say like, oh, there's not going to be a baby, like, because the baby hasn't come out yet. You know what I mean? Like, technically, especially if you haven't seen the like MRI scan or the sonogram, I think is what it's called, I don't know, but you know, you technically, it just looks like a lady, and she just may have a little extra, like, you know, stuff going on in her stomach. Maybe she had a little extra big pizza or something. But we know that she's pregnant and that that baby is inside and that she is going to give birth to it. And so it's like, sometimes when we're in the midst of bringing something to life and bringing something into our reality, we can have that moment of panic of like, it's not going to happen. It's never happening. It hasn't happened yet. And it's like, no, it's in the gestation process. You're pregnant with it and you're going to give birth, but maybe right now you're not giving birth. That doesn't mean you're not going to in the future. You know what I mean? Like, if a woman is 5 months pregnant, she's not going to be like, well, no baby. I guess the baby's never coming out because it's been 5 months and the baby's, I don't know, nothing's happened, so I guess no baby for me. Oh well, you know what I mean? She knows that like it takes 9 full months to have the baby in most cases. So I feel like it's just a message that like this stuff is on the way, so just don't rush it. Just know that like, just because it hasn't happened yet or isn't happening on the perfect timeline that you were hoping for doesn't mean it's not going to happen. So we got doubts. So I feel like, yeah, maybe some of you guys are doubting this and feeling like your manifestation can't happen. Maybe some of you guys had like a dream that you wanted to make happen. And now there's like a setback or something, and you guys start feeling like it's just not going to happen. This is a sign that I picked the wrong path or something. Wow, failure flew out. So maybe you guys feel like a failure. Oh, we got a lot of negative cards. I love this deck because some of the like cards on the other decks can be so overly positive. I saw like some meme that was like the tarot, like the oracle cards are like this beautiful little fairy, and then the tarot cards are like this goth, because the tarot cards are so like much darker. And like, anyway, just a little tarot joke, a little tarot humor if you guys pull cards. But yeah, I love that this deck like does not pull any punches, so honest. But so I feel like you guys may feel like a failure. You guys may be really doubting yourselves and, you know, going through a lot of negative thoughts about this situation and feeling like, maybe I feel like I'm hearing like pivot, like from Friends where they say like pivot, pivot, pivot. But maybe you guys are in your head thinking like, I made a mistake, I need to reassess, I picked the wrong career, or I picked the wrong whatever, fill in the blank. I picked the wrong relationship or whatever. But maybe it's like, and I'm not saying to anyone to stay in like a relationship that is causing them pain. I never, ever, ever would advocate that. But sometimes, especially like I would say with career a lot, you know, there can be problems and growing pains, and it takes time and effort to achieve that, because career is different energy than love. Love is Venus. It's supposed to be a little easier, free flowing, beautiful energy. That's what Venus is. You know, I'm not saying there's not problems in relationships, but I think my threshold for like difficulty is way higher in career than it is in love, to be honest. And I think that's a little healthier of an attitude. So just making that clarification. But I think that for sometimes when we're trying to accomplish something and we get that first big setback, it's easy to let our minds go into a place of doubt, of feeling like it's never going to happen, of getting really down on ourselves, and just running through the gamut of like the negativity, all the worst case scenarios, the like, I made a huge mistake, I messed up, I can't believe I did this, I was so stupid, or whatever, that negative internal self-talk. And I feel like Spirit is just telling you to not let yourself fall into that. I love that you guys got pride, because I love the message on it. It says, I love myself and I see myself in everyone. So it's like, I feel like maybe for you guys, it would be good to work on positive self-talk, or being like, oh my God, I'm so happy with how far I came, or I know I'm going to get so far, or just having some positive affirmations, so that this kind of negativity, which it does pop up, it's not a problem to feel these emotions, or to feel doubt, or to feel fear, or anything like that. It's totally normal and fine, but it is really important for us not to let ourselves get washed away and immersed in that, so that we lose track of the path that we're on and we let it overtake us. So I just feel like for you guys, it would be really good for you to make sure you're kind of managing your thoughts and managing your feelings and not letting them overtake you, because, you know, thoughts can really be really, I don't know, like a cog in the wheel. Like, they can really get in the way of things. And it's really important that we manage our thoughts and not the other way around. So we got indecision reversed, cornucopia reversed, yin yang, door to value reversed, hostilities reversed. Interesting. The world reversed. Okay, so I feel like, yeah, this is not, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you guys. You know I have to be honest, so you guys trust my readings and stuff. I feel like this is not the month of like full achievement for you guys. I feel like some of you guys, you're after this goal, you're wanting to accomplish this certain thing. A lot of you guys, it does have to do with career or money, and this is not the month when it's necessarily going to fully bloom into place. And so I feel like there may be that question of like, I made the wrong choice, and it's like, Spirit is saying like, just work through it. Like, it's not supposed to happen this month. That doesn't necessarily mean it's not going to happen ever. Like, as I was saying to you guys, I literally told another pile that like, it's rare for me to see 1 month where it's like, boom, everything happens, everything comes to fruition, because most of the time something like that, it just takes time. It doesn't take 1 month or 1 week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. A month is not that long of a period. So like, don't freak out about this reading of like, this is the worst reading ever, it means nothing good is going to happen. I feel like it's just saying this month is not going to be that final moment at the finish line. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean you're not right close to the finish line, and it may happen in December, or it may happen in January, or whatever. I mean, those months are right around the corner, and months fly by. Like, I can just remember filming. It's so funny, because actually I was just looking at something today. I can't remember what. Oh yeah, some song I had listened to like right before I filmed my August reading for you guys, I think. And it popped up on my YouTube, and I hadn't listened to it really since August. And so it was in late July that this song came out. And so I was listening to it, and I was like, no, I haven't listened to this in a while. And oh, I remember I was listening to this a lot right before I filmed XYZ readings. It was right at the end of July. And so it's so funny, because that seems like it was so recent, right? But it was actually August. It was actually how many months? August, September. So it was, I guess it wasn't that long ago, but it seems like a year. Like I mean, I moved, I did so much stuff. So many things can happen in the course of a month. And honestly, the time flies by. And I guess it's, yeah, August is September, so October. So it's 3 months. That was only 3 months ago, but it seems so recent and fresh in my mind. And I think if most of us rewinded to like the beginning of last month, So the end of September, you know, that seems so fresh in our minds. So my point is that this time flies by. So don't feel like, I feel like Spirit just wants you to know that even though you may not see the fruition this month, you may not see that final finish line moment, like, you know, the person who's at the end of the race when they burst through the ribbon and then they'll, like, someone throws confetti on them or something and it's like, yeah, you did it. That might not be this month, but it doesn't mean it's not next month or the month after. I've noticed for me with my life, a lot of times how things happen for me, at least, and I think different people have different like timelines towards success. I mentioned before that my sister has a ton of Jupiter and Sag in her chart and she just is super lucky and things seem to happen faster, but I have a lot of Saturn, and so for me how it tends to happen is like I will be working really hard on something and not seeing any forward momentum at all. Like I'll just be like working, and I have to keep doing that for a while, and then finally it's like something breaks and gives, and then it happens super fast, and then the momentum seems, it's like it just takes off like a lightning bolt, you know? So I mean, for everyone's kind of how they have to work towards success is different, and you can always look at your Mars or different things in your astrology chart to figure out what that will be for you. But I just think for you guys, or how Saturn aspects you, other astrology stuff, but I feel like for you guys, this is just a month where it's like you just got to keep going in blind faith, just got to keep working. And I look back at the times when I was just trudging along and nothing was happening as like the pivotal moments. Even though it didn't seem like that at the time, it seemed really boring. It didn't seem like anything was moving, but it really was. And once you reach the culmination moment, you're like, oh, and you see how many things relied on that. Like I said, blind faith. So let me get some moon cards. Okay, what is this? Oh, believe in the impossible. A fiery climax approaches. You're very close to achieving your goal. A time for healing. You and your loved ones are safe. Okay, so these are all resonating, and your hard work is paying off. Oh my God. And this one is new moon in Capricorn, which I keep bringing up. So yeah, this is strong Capricorn energy. A new romantic cycle begins, and have faith in your dreams. I feel like that's so important. So I feel like Spirit is throwing out all these cards, and I almost felt like Spirit was telling me to pull these at the end, and I kind of wish I had, but we'll read them now anyway. But I feel like it's so perfect to let you know, like, a fiery climax approaches and you're very close to achieving your goal, because I keep telling you guys, like, just because it's not happening this month doesn't mean it's not happening in the near future. So I feel like it's kind of like November is just you working, and then it may very well happen in December or January. It may be very, very, very close. And this being the final test, we did get the 9 of Wands, which speaks about that. It's like about that final test before success. So I feel like for you guys, where some of you guys may feel dejected this month, like I've been working so hard, I've been trying so hard and nothing's happening and it's not moving forward, but just like this is like the final moment. You guys are almost there. And it's just about having faith and proving to the universe, like, yes, I want this and I'm willing to work hard. And this one, have faith in your dreams. So they want you to keep going. They want you to stay positive, and they want you to stay focused on it and not let your mind run away with you and be like, you know, drowning in negativity. So let me get some final cards from this deck. Can you tell us what's happening in November for pile 3? Island, solitude. Forest, breathe, dawn, new beginnings. Or forest is breath, I guess. The noun. Anything else? Creation, dream time. And river movement. And iceberg, submerge. So we got this for the last reading, the iceberg. And I love, to me, I always think of that like poster of, you know, the iceberg, and it says like what you see on the top, and it's like 10%. And I think I was telling them about like how I had this poster in my room of an iceberg growing up. I got it from like a school supply store. This is so bizarre. I don't know why I decorated my bedroom with this, because it was like something you put in a classroom, but I had it in my bedroom. And I was trying to remember the exact quote and I couldn't remember it, and Spirit just brought it to mind. And so I feel like it's so applicable for you guys. It's so perfect. So I think the iceberg said, like 10% like achievement or something, and then it was like 90% perspiration or work or something, or 10% inspiration, 90% perspiration. So something about how you only see the success at the top, but you don't see all the hard work. And I couldn't remember what that was for pile 2 because they had a different interpretation of that. And it's so funny how I was like, I'm blanking on the exact slogan, but I think it meant this. And now Spirit was like, it means exactly that. So they gave you the different interpretation. And I think it's so perfect because I feel like this is a month about you guys continuing to work on these goals. It's like, you know, there's movement happening in this, even if you can't see it on the surface. A river is another great example of this because, you know, a river can look super calm on the surface and it can be super fast on the bottom. I grew up near a very big river, and there's a lot of signs when you are like biking along the river or taking a walk along the river that say like, just because it looks smooth at the surface, please don't be fooled. The currents are super strong and can be even deadly. So that's how strong they are. So my point is like, you know, just because something looks placid and calm, don't be fooled and think like it's not moving. And so I feel like some of you guys, you may be like, oh, it's just stagnant, nothing's moving forward, everything's staying the same, but it's not. It is moving ahead. Your dreams are happening. And again, as Spirit was saying, you guys may be very close to it coming to fruition, and it just may not happen in November, but that doesn't mean that it's not close, because I feel like Spirit is saying it is really close. This is almost like final test. So keep working, keep going, stay on this path, and don't let yourself be discouraged. Don't let your mind play tricks on you, because I feel like this is a pile that's not saying, hey, it's time to redirect, maybe reassess, you're on the wrong path. It's saying you are on the total right path, so just keep going. Keep putting that one foot in front of the other. So is there anything else, Spirit, you want me to say to pile 3? They said just keep going. So they want you to keep going. You can do it. They're cheering you on from the sidelines. So keep going, keep moving ahead. And this may be a very different reading for December. You guys might get that reading where I'm like, oh my God, it's all happening this month. Because I'm always surprised when that happens, because like this is what I expect for success, is like it takes some time, and that's normal. So this is not abnormal. This is not like, oh, this is going to be so slow. This is abnormally slow. This is like exactly what I usually see when we're dealing with success energy. So keep going, guys. I'm excited. I'm cheering for you guys on. So also make sure to like and subscribe, and please let me know if it resonates in the comments. I'd love hearing your thoughts and your comments. And also if you have any reading suggestions or requests, drop them in the comments as well. But make sure to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will be back in the next reading, sending you guys so much love and light. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye. Hello, pile 4. So if you guys picked this beautiful green crystal, this is going to be your reading. It's kind of difficult lighting to see it up close, but I love that crystal. So let's get right into it. I pre-pulled your cards. You guys got the Hermit, Strength, the Star, Reverse, the High Priestess, Knight of Swords, Hanged Man, Ace of Wands, Lovers, Ace of Pentacles, and the 10 of Pentacles. So I feel like for you guys, this could be a very fruitful month is what I'm getting. I feel like you guys this month are kind of working along your path. You guys are continuing to go after something. And there may be also a new relationship coming in. I feel like I'm getting kind of like exciting energy where there may be that you guys are going out a little more or something like that. It may be that you have been kind of being alone, but now we start to see someone else come into your life, or that's something on your mind. But I feel like you guys, this is kind of like a fun month, I feel like, where it's like you guys are progressing and you may be seeing some blessings come in. You guys may have been working on your manifestation and stuff like that. And I feel like that may be coming to fruition. It may be that moment where things start to really come into play, and things start to move a little bit faster with the Knight of Swords. So we also got Treasure Island, Fork in the Road reversed, Exchanging Gifts, Loyal Heart, Never Ending Story, and Truth Be Told. You know, for some of you guys, this could be like a past relationship where you guys are actually alone and it's not a new relationship, but it's you guys keep thinking about this past person where Maybe you kind of intended to move on from them, but you're still very attached and you're still thinking of them all the time, and you're still very much getting you're psychically connected to them. And it may be even that you hear from them or that they do get in contact with you with the Knight of Swords. But I'm not sure. I feel like for some of you guys, yeah, there is that relationship that you guys are still very attached to, and you may find out some information, like you may find out some kind of vital piece of info that you didn't know about this situation that kind of changes things for you and makes you reassess or something. It may be something that it's like you haven't wanted to move on because you're still very attached to them, so you're keeping yourself in hermit mode because you're not wanting to fully, get away from this person. You're still feeling very close to them, and it may be something where you get that piece of information that you need to kind of finally pull the trigger and move on, so to speak. So we also got 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, healer of the ages, happy family, patience, broken heart, caring connection. So yeah, I feel like romance is definitely a big highlight for you guys this month. Woman holding a heart. Yep. So Spirit just confirming like this is a lot about some kind of romantic situation. So it may be that you thought of this person as your soulmate, or just that you guys are very connected on the astral realm. And so it's like you can't really get your head away from them. You guys are still very connected psychically, and you still get a lot of downloads and stuff from their higher self. And it may be something where this month you guys, honestly, I'm not sure how to interpret some of these cards. It may be that you guys, I feel like it could be different for all of you guys, where you might get back into contact with this person, or it may be that you find out a piece of information where you're like, oh, that happened. Oh, okay, now I'm over it. But I feel like this is some kind of healing information. Like, I feel like this is almost like a gift from the universe where you come out of this month feeling so much better about this situation than you came in entering it, than you are right now, I guess. So it may be something where you've been very hung up on this relationship and Spirit wants you to move on, and Spirit is going to give you some crucial bit of information where you're like, wow, okay, they did me dirty and I'm done and I'm ready to move on. Or it could be they get back in contact with you and you hear from them and you're able to reestablish things. I feel like for a lot of you guys, it's more like group 1. It's more of that you're going to find out some information that is very healing and allows you to move forward, because I feel like with the star reverse, they're kind of trying to say that, like, I feel like for a lot of you guys, this isn't necessarily your destiny to be with this person, although take what resonates and leave the rest. So if that's just really resonating as like wrong to you, then you could definitely be in that group where there is some reunion or some contact that's going to be reestablished. So take what resonates. That's why it's so important to use your own intuition in these readings and listen to what your heart says, because if your heart is saying no, it doesn't resonate, then definitely take that into account and don't take on anything that irritates you or makes you feel that feeling of like wrong, because that's supposed to be discarded. So take what resonates as far as which group you fit into. But I feel like for a lot of you guys, this is learning information that is going to allow you to heal and move on and going to give you that kind of closure that you needed. And then we have the healing happening and we have this understanding of the situation that allows you, just kind of crystallizes everything and allows you to understand it so much better. I think so much of the time when we feel unhealed with a situation, or when we can't stop thinking about a situation, it's because we're not fully understanding what the heck happened. That's why I think it can be, really helpful at the time when we have a breakup or something to have those conversations, to have closure. Although sometimes it just ends up perpetuating things. If the people aren't willing to be honest with each other, then, it can just perpetuate it. But I think that, it can be so great when you sit down and you're like, well, to be honest, it was because of this, and it was because you said that, and honestly, it rubbed me the wrong way, or whatever the situation was. Because it's like so much of the time when we have trouble moving on, it's just because that person never wanted to give us closure. And sometimes they do that on purpose because they want us to stay attached to them and they don't want us to move on, but they may not necessarily be intending to be that stand-up person in the relationship that's like committed, loyal, totally in. So instead, they end up just keeping us kind of on a string attached to them without giving us the time and the ability to move on. So I feel like there's going to be some information you guys get that will allow you guys to have some healing, and to maybe it's going to be something that comes out of the blue, like it's like a gift where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I found that out. Like, that's so bizarre that even like someone will tell you something and they don't even know that what they're telling you, will mean anything to you, and you're like, oh my God, it puts it all into place. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like something that just falls into your lap and is like a gift from the universe. So we got solitude again. So I feel like for a lot of you guys, being alone is a big part of this month. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I feel like sometimes, destiny came out right after, and it's almost like when we're on that destiny path, sometimes that can involve spending time alone, and we can get distracted from that by other people. Like, I know when I started my spiritual journey, I knew that I would react to stress by like going out with my friends, and I can be an extrovert. So when I get stressed out, I definitely have that inclination of like, let me call my friends and go out and get drinks and, flirt with a bartender and like just have fun. And it takes my mind off things, and that can be positive and good, in certain situations, and it can be a lot of fun. But when you need to like focus on your destiny, or you need to have those real check-ins with spirit, it can be really important to spend those nights staying in, sitting with your emotions, meditating, and that's such a crucial part of growth. And then kind of when we work past that, then we can go back to like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to have a lot of fun, and I'm going to dance on the bar, or whatever it is, however you guys like to have fun. And so this may be a month where it's about you guys spending a little time by yourself, maybe reassessing the situation. I feel like you guys are going to be very psychic this month with the High Priestess and with the awareness card coming out, and intuition. Like, you guys, intuition on point this month. Maybe some of you guys are water signs, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, or you're just really psychically attuned, or you might have very strong Neptune or Pluto, or a very strong moon in your chart as well. There's so many ways that we can see psychic ability in a chart. So if you're not a water sign, don't worry about it. It could be a bunch of different things. But I feel like for you guys, you're going to be super psychically tuned in this month. You're going to be super on point. You're going to be very aware. You're going to be getting a lot of downloads from the universe. So I feel like spirit is going to, like I said, you're going to get some revelations. You're going to get information. It could be information on different things. Like, I know for me, there's been some like weeks where I find out information about this area of my life, then someone tells me something about that area, maybe someone tells me a third thing, and it corresponds to like multiple areas. Like, it's like where you're just like, oh my God, it's like information bomb, and you learn more in that week than you learned in the whole other 3 years. And it's so funny how that can happen in waves like that, but I feel like you guys are going to find out just crucial information that will help you on your path. The star talks about destiny, even though it's reversed. With the destiny card coming out as well, I feel like this is like you guys maybe needing to reassess on your destiny. With the Hanged Man as well, it may be talking about how maybe you guys got a little off track, and sometimes that can happen in romantic relationships, especially ones that are so all-encompassing, when our feelings are so invested and feel so like they can just take us over, and that can be kind of a karmic relationship or something, but where we're just completely involved in that, and it's almost like we stop paying attention to like what do I feel? What do I think? What are my goals? What are my talents? What does God have lined up for me? And we can become very into, going out to dinner with the other person, or they got slightly mad at me. Why were they upset? They seem in a bad mood. And that becomes like everything that occupies our thoughts, rather than those big decision questions that like God has lined up for us to be thinking about. Like, I feel like with firm foundation and victory and success, the Spirit wants you to be thinking about aligning yourself on this destiny path, and not necessarily hung up on this old person from your past with temptation coming in. It's more of a thing where you're not supposed to give into that. You're not supposed to be super thinking about that all the time. Spirit, can we give us some accurate cards for pile 4 about November? Can you give me some accurate cards about pile 4 for November? So we got healing, got prosperity reversed, friendship reversed, financial health reversed, and blessings and friendship. Honestly, I had the feeling before I shuffled this deck, and that's why I said some accurate, because I was like, I just don't get the feeling that this deck is going to correspond to you guys right now. And this deck is super positive, and I love this deck, but yeah, I feel like, I don't know, these aren't to me super resonating, which I kind of knew. I almost said it out loud, but I was like, I don't want to like jinx it. But I don't think it's like super bad. I can see where like, I feel like right now there's not a super big emphasis on your guys' money situation, but I also feel like this is maybe why Spirit wants you to take time alone, is maybe you've been so invested in this romantic relationship that you haven't been focusing on finances, and you haven't been focusing on your destiny. Like, maybe you guys have been watching a ton of pick a cards about romance, but when one comes up on career, you're like, who cares? All I want to know is what he is thinking or what she is thinking. And it's almost like Spirit wants you to focus on that, because that is like your destiny. You have something important to do in this lifetime, and Spirit wants to align you with that. But I feel like, again, this is going to be a healing month. You guys are going to get some vital information this month. You're going to be able to move on or be put on that path to that. So this is more of the super honest deck this time. I don't know, that other deck has been kind of acting up these readings, but let's see what this deck says. What can pile 4 expect for this month of November? So we got failure, denial, fear, relationships reversed, gratitude. So it's almost like Spirit doesn't want you to focus on relationships this lifetime, not this lifetime, just this month. Adversity and empathy. So I feel like, yeah, this is a month when negative emotions could be coming up about why you're not in touch with this person. And for some of you guys, because friendship came up twice, it could be a friendship as well, that you guys are mourning the loss of or something, but it's taking up a lot of your thought process, where you're feeling bad about yourself, or you are feeling really lonely and alone. It may be that you're feeling, I know a lot of people haven't been able to go out and socialize because of all the stuff that's been going on in this world. So it may be that you guys are feeling really alone, in which case I think it's really important for you guys to understand that you guys do have a destiny and do have a path. And the star being reversed can talk about like depression, or feeling really lost, or losing hope, or not being hopeful about the future, and feeling like you're off track and losing hope. And I feel like Spirit wants you to be really hopeful and to not get yourself bogged down with negativity. I know it can be really hard when you're going through it to keep your chin up and to stay smiling and stuff. For you guys, you might try practicing gratitude, because that is such a high vibrational energy that can take us out of this low vibrational fear, failure, death, denial energy when we practice gratitude. So I know sometimes that can stink, especially when something really bad has happened, or something upsetting is going on in our lives, and we have to sit there and be like, I'm grateful for my waffle maker, I'm grateful for my candle holder, I'm grateful for my tissue box holder, and it's like almost like, oh, this is even more frustrating. But there is something so powerful about that energy. And what I've learned with manifesting is whenever I start getting really down or upset, the biggest, most powerful thing I did to have my manifestations happen and speed them up is that whenever I'm like, I'm stuck in this, or I got really upset about something, or like this person really, they lied to me, they never blah blah blah, they never cared, or whatever negative thoughts come up, is to reset them and think about the future, or to think about, yeah, they never cared about me. So, it'll be great in the future when I meet someone who really cares about me. That's going to be so great. What is that going to feel like? Oh, I wonder, okay, what will they look like? What will that relationship be like? How will they treat me? Yeah, that'll be great. I can't wait for that to happen. And focus on that. Or what else did I say? Like, I'm never getting out of here. Of course I am. Of course things are going to change. And when I get out of here, what is that going to look like? So I guess I'll have this kind of a life. So, it would be nice to do that too. Well, maybe I could try this. Well, I think when I wake up, I'll look like this. I can't wait to have this in my life. It's going to be so great. What kind of a coffee maker should I buy? Oh, I know. I'll buy this. I don't even drink coffee, so I probably wouldn't imagine that, but you know what I mean? Like, sketching out your future with all the little details can be so important. So I feel like some of you guys may be getting like down in the dumps about stuff. It could be this old past relationship, and again, take what resonates, leave the rest. But it's like, just don't let this overcome you. Put yourself back in that positive mindset. Realize that you guys do deserve so many beautiful things. So there's really no need to give into the fear or the bad negative emotions. Just keep your chin up. You know what I mean? I mean, life can be a battle. So it's like, you can't let yourself get knocked out. You know what I mean? So when, you get jabbed with a huge thing of self-doubt, or like, it's never going to change, everything's horrible, realize that that's an energy, and you can choose to redirect the energy and like blast it back with a punch of positivity, and really strongly addressing it and being like, of course it's going to change. Or of course I am going to have XYZ in my life. Of course I'm going to have real love. And you know what? I bet they'll be super sexy and attractive and even better than anything I've ever been with. I can't wait to meet them. So learning to redirect your thoughts is so powerful. And I feel like for you guys this month, if you feel the fear, depressive energy start to like take over you, just push it back, rebuke it. I literally will say that if someone says something like I don't like say I'm listening to a pick a card, this is kind of a call out, I guess, but like, you guys could maybe use that with me, although I don't know if I want that energy. But if I hear something I really don't like in a pick a card, I will literally say out loud, like, I rebuke that. No. Especially if it doesn't resonate. If it's someone saying something that I'm like, what the heck? Of course, sometimes someone says something negative is going to happen to you, and in a pick a card, you're like, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I can work on that. And it resonates as truthful. And in that case, I'm totally fine with it, because I'm a Pluto square Mercury, so I love hearing the truth. I love to hear the harsh truths, but sometimes it doesn't resonate at all, and I'm like, and that's negative, and I don't agree with it, and I'll literally say out loud, I rebuke that for me. No, not gonna happen to me. No. And so I'm very strong about that. I'll like talk back to my laptop, or while I'm walking around with my AirPods in listening, I will speak out loud. And so it's like, it's important to learn that you can block out that negativity and be very strong with it, and be very forceful with it, of like, no, I have a positive future, and I'm going to manifest this, and that's going to be great, and it's going to be awesome. And it's not to be delusional. Like, obviously, if you're sitting on the couch literally doing nothing 24/7 and you want to be a millionaire, and someone says, well, you're not really on the path to be a millionaire, it looks like things are stagnating, you shouldn't be like, I rebuke that, because it's like, obviously it's the truth. So, maybe learn to redirect your behavior, but it is about having a positive attitude as well, and learning to put ourselves in that positive energy. And usually positive energy isn't stagnant anyway. Like, if you're chilling on the couch 24/7 and just eating and playing video games or whatever, you're going to have a negative energy anyway. It's going to be very stagnant. So we need to have the positive momentum forward regardless, and that's why it's helpful to like go exercise, or make yourself a healthy meal, or do something productive, because that puts us in more of a positive place too. But anyway, I just feel like you guys are going to have, yeah, like if negative thoughts pop up, learn to push back at them. Learn that you don't have to accept it. But I also feel like for you guys, but don't say you rebuke me, because I'm nice and cute. So don't rebuke me, because yeah. But anyway. But I feel like for some of you guys, this is like the past relationship. Oh my God. And we got a new romantic cycle begins. Your hard work is paying off. You and your loved ones are safe. So it may be new love for some of you guys. Like I said at the beginning, I feel like this could be different people within this pile. And some of you guys may be having new love come in. Oh, we got the answers you need are coming. So like I said, you guys may be finding out some vital piece of information about your relationship, or about something that really puts everything into perspective, where you're suddenly like, oh my gosh, it just is totally crystallized. Now I fully understand what was going on. Now it all makes sense, and it helps you to move on, and it allows you to kind of switch into maybe a new romantic cycle, because it may be that you have this beautiful soulmate that wants to come in, but your energy is blocked, still attached to someone else that's not really worthy of you. So it may be that it's time to clear that out. It's time to get in the new answers and to move yourself energetically forward to this new beautiful life. We did have prosperity lies ahead. So it could be that this person, is pretty wealthy, well off. It could also be that you guys are just coming into wealth on your own. We got a lot of cards actually about prosperity. We got Treasure Island, we got prosperity reversed, and we got Ace of Pentacles, and we got the 10 of Pentacles. So yeah, there's a lot of cards here about prosperity and money. So there's a lot to focus on in this reading, but I feel like there's something about this old cycle that kind of needs to end, and then we can go into the prosperity energy. So yeah, that's really exciting. I don't know if that'll happen this month or when, but I feel like that's where you're kind of headed. You know what I mean? So let me get some more cards for pile 4. What can pile 4 expect in November? What can pile 4 expect in November? So we got music, harmony, rainbow, blessings, summer solstice, radiance. I feel like Spirit is just gonna kind of make you feel yourself this month in a way, like where maybe in the past you got down on yourself, or you felt like, I don't look that good or something. And it's kind of like Spirit is making you like appreciate yourself more. And we did get new moon in Taurus, and Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is the planet of beauty, and Taurus is all about beauty and like luxury and stuff like that. So it may be a month when like pampering yourself and making yourself feel good, also like going out, like I said in the beginning, like I just randomly brought it up, but maybe going out and like dancing, or going to a bar and having fun and dancing on the table and flirting with the bartender or whatever. It may be a great idea this month just to like have fun, treat yourself, make yourself feel good, make yourself feel aligned with good energy. Of course, always being safe. That's so important. Especially I've been hearing a lot of stories about girls being in vulnerable situations in the club scene. So of course, I'll always, try to be as careful as you can and avoid anyone that gives you a bad energy. It's so awful. I hate hearing those stories. They're so upsetting. So always be safe and don't do anything you're not comfortable with. Of course, that's really important. But, maybe going out with people you trust and feeling like, you can go have a fun time and eat like, some fancy food, or one of those kind of cool, like I love those cool cocktails that are named like the Cindy Lou, or I don't know, like the tropical vacation, or like those really specific funky names. I love those, and they have like a million flavors, or like they're artisanal cocktails with muddled strawberries and lime and mint or whatever. I love those. So maybe, something like that. That's definite Taurus second house energy, and I have Venus in the second house. So yeah, that is for sure. I feel like something that could be good for you guys this month. I feel like it's just about you guys kind of feeling yourself. Maybe you guys have been holding yourselves back or putting yourselves in a negative place, or just feeling like alone. And it might be time to go out and like enjoy being with others, enjoy being with friends, not isolating yourself, and going out there and like experiencing things and being in the world. I feel like that might make you feel a lot better. Yeah, like summer solstice, radiance, it's kind of like, I feel like summer solstice radiance, I'm getting such a vibe of like, you know, a summer bar with like a beach bar with like cocktails with the little umbrellas in them and people dancing to like fun music, like maybe a tropical music vibe or something. Something like that, where I feel like you guys are supposed to go out. I know it's November, so for most of us, it's definitely not a tropical vibe, but you know what I mean, where you're just going out and enjoying. You're kind of taking part in the fun part of life. You're not holed up by yourself. I feel like for some of you guys, this is about releasing this past relationship, and sometimes that's why Spirit wants us to go out. It's just about like we've been holed up, overthinking a situation, then you go out and you meet someone cute and you're like, oh, you know what? I don't know why I kept thinking about that person. Or you go out and you just have a blast and you're like, this is so fun. Why did I ever spend time inside, holed up and thinking about this stupid ex? Like, it's not even that interesting. This is so much more fun and interesting, this new life, this new beginning, which is what we got. So I feel like if you guys are to go out into the world, again, be safe. And I definitely encourage that. But I feel like Spirit is going to give you guys blessings. Spirit is going to make sure that you kind of have an extra fun time. I notice that sometimes when Spirit wants me to, you know, when I can get too into like my psychic mode where I'm just like staying in and working on myself, Spirit will sometimes like have that friend that like is like, come on, let's go out, come on. And then when we do go out, it's like extra fun and all these great things happen because Spirit is like, see, like it's kind of like dangling a carrot in front of you, like, see, it can be really fun and we don't want you just staying inside and learning. I'm hearing that phrase, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So I feel like for this month, there's this emphasis on you guys going out, having a good time, and that can also be a powerful way of raising your vibrational field. So I feel like if you guys are to be invited out to a bar or be invited out to a social event, this would be a great month to engage in that. And it may be that, you know, even if you don't go out, like you're in class and you meet someone cool, or you're at work and you meet someone cool, but I would say take the social opportunities this month because I feel like that they're just going to go really well, and Spirit wants you to release this. And so it's kind of like, you know, when your friend wants you to move on and they introduce you to like a new guy that they think you'll have a crush on kind of vibes. I feel like that's like the universe, like Spirit is wanting to move you on, and they're like, hey, I'll set you up with Brian, because they don't want to hear you talk about your ex anymore, kind of a thing. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I feel like this is really positive, happy energy. It's almost like you guys have been in a little bit of a sad energy, and Spirit's like switching that vibration up. Spirit's giving you some blessings, some happiness, and making you guys realize how totally amazing and fun this world can be. So is there anything else, Spirit, that you want me to tell pile 4? They're saying go for it. I don't know what that means, but they're saying go for it, which I think means go out. Don't be afraid. Don't feel like, you know, you have to be all holed up, or you're afraid of going out, or for whatever reason you just want to stay inside. It's like, go out into the world. This is your time to flourish. Ooh, I feel like honestly I just got like the best feeling where like I feel like if some of you guys go out and, you know, get dressed up and go out to dinner or go out to a bar or something. I keep saying bar, which I usually would never mention it so many times, but I feel like for you guys, that's what Spirit is saying. Of course, if you don't drink, that's fine, but you know, maybe go out and get like just a little water with like a lime in it or something. But I'm feeling like if you guys do go out, like you're gonna have such a blast where your Spirit is gonna line up like the right people, the cute people, the people you want to talk to, put some good music on the radio. They'll get the extra special DJ lined up for you so that like everything goes really well, because they want you getting out there. They want you enjoying and appreciating life. We didn't come to this lifetime just to stay inside, just to never go out with the world. Part of life is experiencing life, all the parts of life, the fun parts, the hard parts. But you know, sometimes in the spiritual community we can totally tell someone like, you're supposed to go through this hardship, and we can be all about that, but hey, we're also supposed to have fun. We're also supposed to enjoy life. We're also supposed to have a good time. And so I feel like that may be a lesson you guys need to learn, is like letting yourself have fun, letting yourself let a little loose, and putting a smile on your face. I feel like Spirit wants to see that. So please let me know if it resonates, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe, but let me know if it resonates in the comments, as well as if you have any reading requests or suggestions, let me know, and turn on notifications. I post every few days, so let me let me know if you have a request and turn on notifications. And so I will be back very soon for the next reading. Sending you guys so much love and light. Have an amazing day, guys. Bye.